Welcome to Mariners Fan Central.
Jerry Dipoto and the Seattle front office just put on a masterclass in reading the room before the chaos set in. Because if we had blinked, if we had hesitated for even a split second, we'd be staring at an empty bank account or a gaping hole at first base right now. The news defining our offseason isn't just who we got, but when we got him. The 5-year deal worth $92.5 million with Josh Naylor is the ultimate proof that we've learned from the mistakes of the past. Let's be real, the first base market was a powder keg waiting to blow. We had Pete Alonso hovering like a financial storm cloud over the league, and everyone knew that the moment he put pen to paper, the price tag for anyone who knows how to hold a bat was going to launch into the stratosphere. I look at the aftermath, and all I feel is relief. The Baltimore Orioles, in a move of either desperation or unchecked ambition, shelled out $155 million for 5 years of Alonso. Do the math with me. We locked down Naylor, a hitter who brings that chaotic, necessary energy to our lineup, for tens of millions less, simply because we were aggressive before the dust settled. This is what I'm talking about when I demand proactivity. We can't forget where we came from. The 2025 season was magical and painful in equal measure. We snapped that 2-year playoff drought, one of those dry spells that makes you question everything, and entered the postseason with blood in our eyes. Taking down the Detroit Tigers in the ALDS was a statement of strength. It showed this core has the goods. But falling to the Toronto Blue Jays in the ALCS, that left a bitter taste, a feeling of what was missing, and the front office's answer was clear. Certainty was missing. We needed to solve problems before they turned into crises. Naylor brings that certainty. He knows where he's playing for the next 5 years. The contract pressure is gone, and now he can focus solely on mashing baseballs at T-Mobile Park. Zachary Reimer over at Bleacher Report hit the nail on the head, saying that if we had waited for the Alonso deal to drop, Naylor's agent would be asking for the moon right now. We saved cash that can be funneled into the bullpen or the rotation, and we kept the foundation of the offense that took us deep last year. It's financial chess, and for the first time in a long time, I feel like we're 2 moves ahead of our opponents. It's not just about saving money, it's about allocating resources to win now, because the window of opportunity in MLB doesn't stay open forever. We are building on the success of 2025, not trying to reinvent the wheel, and that continuity is what separates the pretenders from the contenders. If you're digging this direct, no-nonsense analysis from one fan to another, consider subscribing here to the channel, because at Mariners Fan Central, we don't just read the news, we understand its impact on the game. Now, we need to look at the fine print, because a championship team isn't built on $90 million headlines alone. Beyond Naylor, the front office did their homework on the roster margins. We inked deals with Joe Ferrer, Rob Refsnyder, Andrew Knizner, and Alex Hopp. Oh, but those aren't stars, you might say. Exactly. But look at any team that's hoisted the trophy in the last 10 years. They had depth. Refsnyder is that veteran type who destroys lefty pitching and plays anywhere in the outfield without complaining. Knizner brings security behind the plate. These are moves by people who understand that a 162-game season is a war of attrition. You need soldiers, not just generals. And speaking of royalty, I can't let the update on our eternal king, Felix Hernandez, in the Hall of Fame voting slide by. Seeing his name gaining traction warms the heart of anyone who suffered and cheered with him on the mound, but it also serves as a reminder. Felix never had the team Naylor has around him now. We cannot waste generational talent. This offseason has a different vibe. The Naylor signing was, as analysts say, astute, but I prefer to call it surgical. We are positioning ourselves as the real threat in the American League for 2026. The offense is protected, the rotation remains our backbone, and now we have the financial flexibility that Baltimore threw out the window. The Seattle Mariners entering 2026 isn't a team waiting for things to happen. It's a team dictating the market's tempo. I look at this roster today, and I see a group capable of clearing that ALCS hurdle. Naylor's arrival changes the locker room dynamic, takes a load off our young stars' shoulders, and adds a dose of competitive grit that, frankly, we sometimes lacked in the clutch moments against Toronto. We are assembling a complex puzzle, and this central offensive piece was snapped into place perfectly before anyone could swipe it off the table. The question hammering in my head now, and I want to throw this to you guys, is about calculated risk. Do you think the savings from choosing Naylor over entering the bidding war for Alonso or another bigger name will pay off when we get to October? Or should we have fully opened the vaults and to hell with tomorrow? The strategy of beating the market was brilliant on paper, but baseball is played on grass and dirt. I want to know if you trust that this smart spending is enough to get us to the World Series, or if we're still missing that final $300 million piece. Sound off in the comments, because the season starts now.